you mentioned law enforcement. Was there ever like a passion to be a police officer, or did you find yourself like that was an easy transition from military?
More of the transition from military. I was midway through boot camp and realizing that, hey, in August, I'm done in boot camp. I'm going back to North Central College in Naperville. And what do I know how to do? Well, I know how to obey and accomplish direction. I know how to put on a uniform, and I know how to like follow rules. And again, I liked helping people. I like the idea, even in the Marines, a lot of it, the combat goes on the news, but I've done a ton of exercises going, to the Philippines, going to Thailand, going all over the place and helping people, help, facilitate a well or a school of these very small villages that don't have that. And so I really fell in love with the idea of serving and trying to help. And so it was a very easy transition. Okay, I'm going to start focusing towards law enforcement, finish my college, get my college degree, and then try to get on at a local police department.
And how many years were you a police officer?
It will be, I got sworn in October of 2009.
Okay.
So, but when this Wounded Warrior Regiment position opened up for me, since I am full-time on federal active duty orders, I'm not able legally to work as a police officer. So Loves Park Police has been great. They allowed me to take, a hiatus where I'm still on the employee roster. However, I don't work for them day to day. So once my military stint ends, they can accept me back in, and I'll just kind of pick up where I left off.
Tell us something funny, man, about a random police stop. I know you got a good story, something, maybe you show up at a house thinking you got this issue, and then it's absolutely something funny or chaotic. I mean, or even if it's another officer's story. I just always love a good, random, unexpected story.
So I can have 100 of them in my head, and the second somebody asks for one, I blank.
Right.
The one that I could think of, and again, you do have to keep it very, political when you show up, because the one that I can think of is we would get called to this individual's home who, struggles with mental health, isn't quite there, and showed up to the house. I think this individual called maybe 911 2 to 3 times that night about stolen bananas. That he's sure, he gets his 7 bananas on Monday, and it's Wednesday and there's only 3 bananas left. Somebody's breaking into his house and stealing his bananas. And he's, again, just dead serious. Like, the thought of him maybe just eating too many bananas for the day never crossed his head. It's either somebody broke into his house and stole it, or the Walmart lady that checked him out didn't give him the 7 bananas, took 2, and then gave him 5. So just little things like that, and you show up.
And what do you do in a situation like that? You buy him some bananas, or?
We have
Did you look in the garbage can to see if there is banana peels?
He did not, no.
So what kind of detective are you?
Well, I was a patrol officer, not a detective.
No, I know.
We do have some cases where, you go in, and especially when there's kids involved, and we've had to take some kids from some houses, and you can tell a kid hasn't eaten, and you ask them, like, hey, you hungry? And you drive them through like McDonald's, you get them some food. So there are cases where it's like, all right, hey, let me get something for you.
That's awesome.
Some cases that'll break your heart. Like, you walk around and you see a kid who's 2-3 years old walking around with like a full diaper that hasn't been changed in days. And again, when you're 3 years old, you kind of need to be you should be out of diapers anyway.
Yes.
And you can just tell, like, some calls will break your heart for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It'd be such a tough job. And, it's almost like the police are here. Like, when you're on the other side, you're like, oh, the police are here.
Yes.
And like, you're here to help,
to try to help.
diffuse, or just figure out a situation. I can't fathom. And then
Yeah.
what I've always thought about too is when you pull someone over, I mean, gosh, you have no idea who or what is going on up here, right? So of course you may be on guard or prepared for the unexpected. I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine the rush that one would have of going, okay, what do I got here?
Have you had anything bad happening when you pull someone over, or something that you didn't expect or found?
Every now and then, sure. Yeah, you pull a car over, and you'd have a backup officer that'll usually go around to a different window, and then we have a code word for gun, and then you're doing your normal traffic stop, and then you hear that other officer give the code word for gun, and it's like, okay, now how do you handle it? Do you get your gun out, or do you just try to casually, hey, just come on out and talk?
Sure.
And so it's kind of decisions you have to make like that. And as far as traffic stops in general,
Like
tough.
big drug busts. Have you had one of those?
I've been involved in some. Yeah, we would get a tip from state police, like, hey, I think this vehicle, we've got a source saying that it's got these type of drugs hitting in this compartment. If you see it, pull it over. Try to find a traffic violation that it does. It's something small. Pull it over and try to search it. And so I've been involved in cases like that. Involved where you just pull someone over for speeding, and next thing you know, the canine officer's just right down the road. He's like, hey, I'm just gonna get my dog out, stretch my legs, and the dog alerts on the vehicle. You're like, oh, okay, well, let's see what we got. And sure enough, you open up a Pringles can, and it's like a fake can, and there's some narcotics or something hidden in there.
Sure.
I've got some speeding tickets. I mean, 2, maybe
Hey, this boy drives fast.
3. No,
Yeah.
you drive fast.
You passed me. Okay.
My question is, I always wondered how. Okay, if a cop is on the middle of the highway and then you pass, okay, there is a GPS or some type of thing that you can see the person's speed going by.
Radar.
Yeah, radar. Yeah, sorry. But when the cop's also moving and the other car's coming the other direction, can you also get the other guy's speed? When the guy's behind you, can you also get the speed? In front of you too? Both
So
cars moving?
Not at the same time. And again, I can only attest to the equipment I've seen. But the equipment I've seen is you've got your handheld radar gun. So if someone is parked,
Radar, yeah.
they could be doing that. Or as you're driving around, there's like a front mounted radar and a back mounted radar. So you can toggle, hey, I want to check speeds of vehicles going with me.
Okay.
And you can also toggle, I want to check speeds of vehicles going towards me.
Okay.
And again, that's all just, you hit a couple buttons and it'll change.
Okay.
Now getting like everybody's speed all at the same time, no. You get very good at, again, you drive around so much, you just get like the radar won't even be on and a car will whip by you and you're like, they were moving.
Okay.
Like you just get used to the flow of traffic after driving for so long that so if a car flies by you, you may not have gotten them as they were coming at you, but then you just hit your rear one and it picks up on a high speed, and that's when you'll see them like turn around and.
Sometimes some
anonymous person.
No. Okay, you're going on the highway, normal driving.
Sure.
Someone passed you way faster than you, and you're like, "Oh, this guy's faster than me. I'll go behind him." If the cop goes
pace,
by, they'll get this guy, not me.
Sure.
If I'm with another guy going fast and the cops get the speed, can the cop get the speed of both, or it will be only one car?
It depends. So again, if they've got like the handheld thing, you can single out each individual car.
Okay.
If you don't, but you see two cars are moving around the same speed, then it's just you just get whatever one you can get at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've done
Dude,
that.
you're taking
Taking notes.
No, honestly, I've lost my license twice. When I was under 21, there's a law in the state of Illinois. I don't know if it still exists. But if you get 2 traffic violations in a 12-month period,
especially at that young,
under 21,
see ya,
you lose your license. So that happened to me. I lost it for 3 months. Very quickly got 2 more, and lost it for 12 months. And I under 21, and the amount of time I sat and waited for friends to come pick me up who don't care if I'm late to work, who don't care where I need to be. It's not their problem. That was the worst 12 months ever for me. I mean, I'm sure but it was a long 12 months.
Going in, kudos to you for making it, because not many do, especially young. They'll get their license pulled and it's like, hey, it's suspended for 6 months. Most are like, they make it 2 weeks
And
then you start driving, and then it's something that'll follow you for the rest of your life. Then you get like a couple suspended tickets and now it's revoked. And now it's not coming back.
No.
And you'll find people that, serve prison time because they keep driving. Revoked, hey, you go to jail for a couple weeks, hey, knock it off. 8 months later, you see that same car, that same person, and it's like,
That's crazy.
yeah.
I hung drywall with a guy who had like 6 DUIs, no license, kept driving and kept getting. And he would show up at the work site in a cab and have to get picked back up at the work site in a cab to go back to jail. He was getting out of jail on a work release, but had to like get up in the morning in jail, come able to work.
Probably the happiest drywall hanger
Right.
you'd ever met in your life.
Not to be in jail. But yeah, it's crazy to me. I personally just didn't do it because I'm the guy who will get caught, and then I'm like looking at I have the worst luck when it comes to that type of stuff. Yeah, I'm the one, like, I could watch 50 of you guys do something, and then I'm like, I feel good about doing that. And then the minute I do, woo!
Yep.
Like, it always blows up in my face. Always.
Well, again, good that you learned that lesson young, because not many do.
Right.
There's still people you'll pull over and they're hammered, and you like run their license, and it's like, you haven't had a license for 5 years, and you're on like your 4th DUI. It's like, what is going on here?
Right.
Yeah,
So they need to go to some good decision workshops.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I think I mentioned that last week. I had to go to court-ordered good decision workshops. From spraying a fire extinguisher in school, I was asked not to come
Recently.
back. Yeah, no. This was back in high school. I was asked not to come back to high school for a period of time. But yeah, I had to go to good decision workshops. And boy, look at me now.
Yeah, right.
It really...